Hey, welcome back. Today we've got a very exciting one for you today. A great superhero in her own right. This is Supergirl, or Kara. To be honest, I don't know too much about Supergirl, so I'm just going to speak on the figure. um, so this is a great minifig. We actually have I'll give you 360 of her. So we actually have the keychain of her, which I believe was available back in like 2016, 2017, and that's a great figure. But this is obviously a whole lot better because this is the original. This is kind of an expensive figure. This is a $30 figure from DC Comics superheroes. Back in the days when they put other characters in sets, aside from Batman. So this is Supergirl. And this particular figure came out in a single set from 2015, and it was called the Brainiac Attack. It was really cool. It had like this giant skull-like robot, and it was piloted by one of the DC's most notorious villains, which is Brainiac. And the set also came with, obviously, Supergirl, came with a Superman, and it came with a Martian Manhunter figure. Um, and that set was really cool. It's a little bit more pricey now. I think it was $80 when it came out, 80 or 60. Nowadays, it's a lot more. But one of the draws for that set was this Supergirl, and also the Martian Manhunter. Pretty much 3 of the 4 were exclusive to that set, and this figure is really awesome. They actually reissued this figure with a different hairpiece and a different cape in Lego Dimensions. I believe it was like a promotional type of like pack or whatever. I didn't see it a lot in stores, but they've done this figure twice. That version is, I think it's like more closer to 35 to 40. This one's 30. I paid 20, so not nearly as expensive, but still a bit of a, price for a figure. I think it's worth it. This one doesn't come with any accessories in the set, so she just has her, outfit, nothing to hold. I did consider giving her Frozone's like ice, what is it called? The Power Blast piece in clear. But I felt like, I don't know, they didn't give her anything to hold in that set, so I felt like, she doesn't really need anything to hold. So yeah, she looks great. She's got the classic Superman colors. One thing I want to point out is this hairpiece is great, but it's so overused. I have quite a few figures with that hairpiece, one of which is America Chavez from the Gargantos Showdown epic set, the one-eyed tentacle monster. That thing is fantastic. Just one example here of Marvel Fig. And then from the Star Wars line, Cara Dune from The Mandalorian Season 1 from the ATST Raider set. Great set, great minifig. And then a CMF, Marcia, Queen of the Mermaids. Picked this one up recently. She'll get her own video. But yeah, they use this hair so many freaking times. It's so overdone. Like, if you just look at the amount of city sets and stuff, there are quite a few Star Wars ones. Just a lot of minifigs, especially females. They use this hair a lot. Regardless, it's a nice piece for her. Works really well. One issue with the hair, we'll get to that later. But I want to talk about her design. It's very classic. I actually have the CMF Superman from, I think it's DC Minifig Series 2? I don't remember. I think it might be Series... Oh, I'm sorry. It's the DC CMF Series 1. And he's got this great look. It seems to be based off Superman Returns, but I'm not sure on that. Bit of a DC noob. Still, a novice, you could say. But yeah, you can see that the symbols are the same. The printing on Superman is a lot more... it's a lot more in-depth, and it's a little bit more detailed. Same cape, standard Superman head and hair, and I think I did a video on this Superman. I believe I did. And the back printing is fine. But yeah, I just wanted to compare against, because they're cousins, Kara and Clark. And yeah, it's very, very similar look between the two. But yeah, the Supergirl design is very nice. It's obviously very true to the comics. I'm not a comics person. I'm not going to tell you what's here, what's there. I don't know. I'm just going to tell you this is an awesome figure. It's got the awesome Superman logo. And you can see the tight outfit with her abs peeking through. You can see the belt buckle and the yellow design. and a little bit of her skin at the very top there. And she's got bare hands. I like the skirt. The skirt is really interesting. It's printed really well, and it's got nice skin tone printing. Obviously, the skin tone is a little bit darker because it's being printed onto red. But on the side, move her cape a little bit, you can see she does have the skirt continuing onto the side. Same with the other side. Unfortunately, there is no dual molding, so it's just red on the back. You can see a little bit of the back printing. The nice thing about these capes is you can move them around and bunch them up and, you know, put them into action scenes, action poses, and it's not that, you know, it's very useful when you're looking at, like, something on the back or whatever, and you want the cape to be, you know, out of the way. It's very nice. You can see the back printing. Back printing is not that, you know, special. It's fine. It looks good. The back of her, it's probably the weakest because there's no dual molding. So, yeah, ideally, you would like to have the boots on the back and more of the skin tone, but this was the days before they did that, so that's fine with me. The cape is an awesome, you know, design. It's very nice. I really like the color, first of all, and I love the material. The texturing is very nice to feel, in my opinion. It looks really great, and I love how comic book-esque it looks. It almost looks like Kevlar. You know, it feels so nice, and it moves really nicely. You can pretty much angle it how you want. You can see more of the blonde hair, and yeah, I like the skirt design. It's very nice. Obviously, it's not perfectly printed if you look closely, but it's still really nice. I really enjoy it. Yeah, there's honestly not that much to talk about with the design of Supergirl's costume because it's very simple, just like her cousin Superman. It's very comic booky. It's very, you know, not one-dimensional, but it is very, like, what you see is what it's just what you see is the detail. It's not that complicated, but it looks really appealing, in my opinion. Let's talk about the hair. Let me take the hair off. So we can take more, just see more of the little details there. The hairpiece is fine. Again, it's been used so many times. Let me see if I can get this to focus. Zoom in a little bit so you can see if it will work. There's the hair. It's got the one braid, and it's a really nice piece, but because it's molded with the braid on the front, it's designed so that the figure cannot really move their head. So it's kind of a static piece. It looks great, but for movement, it's not a good hair piece, and I would probably prefer a ponytail in that regard. Probably the short ponytail piece, not the long one, but it just depends. But yeah, that's the hair. Just wanted to briefly talk about that, just because I thought it was interesting. Here's the face. The face, I feel like the face is really nice for Kara on this figure. I think it was only used for Supergirl, and it's unique to her. I just think that she could have maybe gotten a little bit more of a... I like the expression here. I just feel like it could have been a little bit more cheeky, a little bit more sly, a little bit more playful. I feel like the face is a little too, I guess, generic girl. I feel like they could have done a little bit better with the confidence. They could have put a lot more confidence in this face. It looks great for her. Looks really nice. I just think it could have been a tiny bit better. You can see a little bit more of the cape on the, you know, the top of the torso. And the one thing about these newer capes is it's a little bit thick around the neckline because this is a thicker, slightly thicker fabric that they're using. So it bunches up a little bit around the neck, so it's a little bit weird in that regard, but still it looks really good. So, but yeah, there's the standard face, her happy, and then this is really great. She gets an alternate face where she's just blasting lasers, and she's totally ticked off, and it's so good. Let me see if I can get you a look with that hair. That's what that would look like. In fact, let me turn that around so you can see that, just because. Also, why not? Let's show the back printing. And, you know, it's very basic. In fact, it's very similar to Superman's. Oh my, look at that. It's almost identical, minus a tiny bit of changes. But yeah, just wanted to show that because the hair's off now. And let me give you a look at that head. with the hair. See, it changes her expression. It's very animated. It's very exaggeratedly angry. Like, this is her battle look. Like, she is just roasting enemies with these laser eyes. It's so good. Again, I wish that the standard face would have been a lot more playful. But yeah, this is such a good alternate face. I love the red in the eyes and the lips, with the teeth baring, and it's so good with the eyebrows down. It's so good. I'm tempted to display her flying with this face, but I feel like it's just a little bit too aggressive. But again, this face is a little bit generic, but that's not a bad thing. It's just it could have been a little bit more just silly, I guess, or edgy, or again, I don't know. Could have been more playful with that first face, but it works for her. And I think this is a fantastic minifig. I'm glad I spotted her in the case at work, because if I didn't, she would have been gone. Because she's a very expensive minifig and very hard to find. So I'm glad that I was able to get her and add her to my wall, and she's going to be flying alongside her cousin. So that's going to be great. But that's about it for Supergirl. Again, there's not like a lot to talk about. The colors are really nice with the blue and the red, and the cape is really great, and the two faces are nice, and they did a really nice job. I think this is one of the only times that they've done Supergirl. I know there's the exclusive one where it's the TV show version. That one goes for like ridiculous amount of money. That one's like over $1,000. So yeah, it's definitely more on the pricey side. But if you have that one, you're lucky. I think this one's a little bit better, just because it's more retro design. It's more like the classic iconic design. So I'm a big fan of this one. This one's probably in my top 3 now for figures that I bought from work. This one is probably top 3 for sure. But let me know what you think of Supergirl. Do you prefer this one? Do you like the ponytail version better? Do you like the exclusive the best? What do you think of this version? And let me know if you know which version this is supposed to be, because I'm sure it's based on some sort of comic or something. But that's it. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for your support. Hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next one. Have a great day.